Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Shay Explores Daily, and today I've got another video for you. I'm doing the final video of the South Kensington Museum series. So if you watched me before previously, I had done the Natural History Museum and the Science Museum. Today I'm doing the Victoria and Albert Museum behind me. So if you enjoy my videos, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'm very excited to do this video because I've been planning to do this one for many months. So let's look into the background of this museum. So this museum behind me goes back to 1852, right in the middle of the Victorian era. So I believe it's the world's largest collection of decorative arts and crafts, I believe, and there's over 2.8 million objects located inside of this museum. So guys, this section that I'm standing in is dedicated to sculptures. So everything you see here is from various sculptures from around the world, basically. So this bust here is of Oliver Cromwell, and it's done by a guy by the name of Joseph Wilton. Joseph Wilton also done this bust as well of an unknown man who possibly might be Dr. Edward Archer. This bust here is of Sir George Savile, done by a guy called Joseph Nollekens. And finally, this bust here is done by, actually no one actually knows, to be fair. We think Thomas Adai, but it's a bust of Paul Jodrell. So this one here is based off of ancient Greek myth, and I believe this one goes back to 1782. So guys, it's important to remember, up until about 1800, here in the UK, sculptures were only mainly for rich and wealthy people. It was the people who were rich, and it was mainly used to either decorate their home, or it was used to commemorate a relative who sadly passed away. So guys, occasionally you did have sculptures of tributes to women. This one is of a lady called Emily Georgiana, who sadly died at the young age of 39. This sculpture was made in her honor, and there's some cool writing along the side as a tribute to her as a person, which is really cool, by the way. So I've come into the Japanese gallery now, and everything in this section is a tribute to Japanese culture, one of the most technologically advanced nations on earth, and a country that I visited. So let's go inside, walk around and have a look. So here you've got some electrical products, and Japan owes its reputation around the world in the post-World War II period to its manufacturing of electric products. And on this section here you can see quite a few examples of them. So for example, you've got a mobile phone there, it's number 10. You've got the famous flip phone. It's called an OWL W11K. Here you've got like a Japanese type of dress. You've got obviously a kettle there, a Hello Kitty kettle. You've got a Hello Kitty toaster from 1998. Then as you go down, just some chairs. This needs no introduction. These are Japanese kimonos from, well, they came here in 2018, but one thing I love about them is how colourful they are. You can see all the variety of colours in it as it goes all the way down. So here you've got two Japanese robes. The one on the left was made by a woman called, well, an Ainu woman from Hokkaido, the most northern island in Japan. And this one here on the right was made by, I'm not too sure, to be fair, I think the same person. But as you can see, one is grey, and this one here has got some really cool patterns on it. And here you've got some more kimono dresses. So essentially in the Edo period, kimonos was the main item of dress for both men and women, basically. And here you've got another one as well. This one's obviously red, but I keep saying, but I just love the actual designs of them. Just like, it looks like it's got flowers on that one, and this one here looks like it's like, is that like a forest or something like that, or trees or whatever. But I just love the designs of all of them. These are called kabuki posters, basically, and this is a very popular form of Japanese theatre from the 17th century. So as you can see, you've got different people in there, and you've got so many different things going on at the exact same time. So these here are not kimonos now, these are Buddhist robes. and I believe these are called Kesas, Kesa. So these are traditional Buddhist robes that you'd see people wear in Japan, especially men. So you've got one hair out front, and you've got obviously this one hair behind. So up top you have a matchlock gun, basically, and firearms were introduced, as I mentioned, to Japan by the Portuguese, pretty much. And then below you've got a hanger sword from around the year 1700. Number 2 up there is a helmet. So I've now come into the next gallery, which is the Chinese gallery. So this here is an imperial throne, basically, from the Qing dynasty. Here you've got like a tomb guardian. You have like a sculpture of what's meant to be like a foreigner, and you've got obviously a camel and a rider. You've got a horse. Here you've got like a formal suit for a man, basically. Number 10 is some kind of advertisement. Number 11 is a hat box. Number 12, which is the black thing there, is a hat for a man. You've got like a clock, some kind of glasses, and so on. So behind me is a unique fabric for dragon robe. So when members of the imperial family in China needed new robes, they would send out instructions to what they call like servants or whatever for the fabric that they need to make it. So this here is one example of it. I don't know if you can see the gold dragon on there as well. So guys, this section talks about the Islamic Middle East. So essentially it talks about how Islam spread from pretty much one small area and pretty much has spread all over the Middle East and obviously parts of Asia. Here you've got some geometric patterns, basically. Some of them were based on various things, some were based on like plants or figures. So guys, this carpet here behind me is called the Ardabil carpet, and it originally I believe comes from Iran, and it goes back to the year 946 if I'm not mistaken. These are absolutely humongous. You can get a scope of how big these are. These are absolutely huge, and they go all the way down the room. So this section is about South Asia. So here you've got like a portrait of a typical Indian temple, basically. One of the biggest things India is known for is textiles. So you've got various types of textiles in this area. So as you can see, you've got textiles there. One of them's got like some kind of animals. This is like some squares, and as you can see down here, you can see various types of textile fragments pretty much going all the way across. Here you've got a map of the Mughal Empire in around sort of the year 1600, and here you can see that it encompasses present day countries like India, Pakistan, even into Afghanistan, and as far down as Bangladesh. So essentially it shows where the major cities were in relation to each other, and also to other regions as well. Also as well guys, in this hallway behind me you're going to see various exhibitions dedicated to other parts of Asia, like Afghanistan, Nepal, and so on. So this section here is dedicated to Nepalese culture. This one here is dedicated to Afghanistan and Central Asia. This one here is dedicated to Tibet. You've got one here for Burma, which is now Myanmar. And last but not least, you've got Sri Lanka, basically. So guys, I'm in the medieval Renaissance section of the museum. And this section talks about the thousands of years of European history, going back from the fall of the Roman Empire up until modern Europe today. So as you can see, you've got just various like fountains and stuff. So you've got a fountain here, a wall fountain from 1500. You've got another one here as well. And yeah, I just like how you've got obviously the designs on them. So you've got like a baby there with like a big stomach and so on. You've got another unique one. This is a water spout and a foundation basin. This is from around sort of the year 1500. This is meant to be a sculpture of Samson slaying a Philistine. So as you can see up there, Samson standing up, he's got like a sword or something in his hand, and he's gonna unfortunately slay this person. So yeah, as we walk through, you just see yet again more fountains, as you can see here. Got these really cool things going around it. And yeah, you've got more of these. And as you walk around, one thing I love is just the range of patterns. this section here looks a lot more Christianity based. So as you can see, that's meant to be obviously Jesus on the cross, and this here is meant to be the Virgin Mary, I believe, as well. But as you walk around, you can see that it's very, very religion based in this section. So yet again, the Virgin Mary again, and up here, as you can see, yeah, yet again guys, and here seems to be like a chapel basically. So as you can see, everything in here is very religion based. These are meant to be, I believe, some kind of priests. This, yet again, looks like the Virgin Mary. So this chapel behind me comes from the Covenant Church of Florence in Italy, and it's the only Covenant church of its kind outside of Italy. So this here is an Italian, well, not a replica, but it's basically Italian theme based pretty much. So I'm in the cast courts, and everything in here is absolutely ginormous. We've got a giant Michelangelo in the middle of here as well. I'm gonna show you how big he is for perspective. I mean him, his actual sculpture size, that is. And yeah, as you walk around, just various sculptures. Here you've got a huge amount of tombs of people. So this one here is meant to be of an unknown knight, so no one knows who that is. That one is of John Talbot, the first Earl of Shrewsbury. And as you go around, you see the sword, the shield. They go all the way down there. So I think these cast courts behind me, this whole area, probably is my favorite area of the museum that I visited, to be honest. Yeah, really cool. Everything in this section is dedicated to Korea. So you've got some Korean long-necked bottles. You've got some Korean wedding traditions. So I'm guessing that's like a photo of like some Korean, obviously Korean wedding. Number 4, this is a bridal panel as well. And then 1, 2 and 3 is like some kind of marriage chest. I'm guessing that's what you get when you get married. So everything on this floor here is basically ironworks basically. So all of this is based on ironworks in and around Britain and also other locations going back centuries. So as you walk around, you can just see here various kinds of like, what is that, like a window or a gate, as you can see. So you've got an iron chest, you've got a tabernacle grill, I think it's called. And as you go around, you've got this cresting made from wrought iron. And as you can see, you just get an idea of what's pretty much up here. So here you've got a wood, cast iron and glass door, designed in Belgium in 1895. And you've got various kinds of armor, etc. and so on. Behind me is the fashion section, like a massive like round room of like bits of fashion. Let's go inside and have a look. It's one of the most popular parts of the museum, so let's go inside and have a look. So here you've got some Japanese kimonos. So by the turn of the 20th century, the taste for East Asian art had spread through Europe, and these became more popular outside of Japan. So as you can see, you've got 3 of them there, and you've got something really cool. You've got like a bag as well, also, and you can see like the cool shoes. So you've got black shoes there, and you've got like some sort of brown shoes also. But outside of Japan, kimonos have become so popular recently. This section here talks about modern women's fashion. So as you can see, you've got like a tennis racket there. You've got like a beach trouser suit. You've got some sandals. You've obviously got like a bathing costume. And as you go around, you've got like evening dresses and stuff. You've got like a really cool hat as well. You have also some golden shoes. Here you've got like an evening dress and jacket. And you've got like some kind of, what is that? Like some kind of, I don't know what that is at all. And as you go around, you've got more stuff here. So this section is meant to be men's fashion, but I don't think I'd wear any of these. But I do like the huge variety of colours though. You've got like some kind of like jacket there. You've got, it's basically an overcoat. You've got some Craig green shorts and t-shirt. You've got a Jamie Long sweater. So yeah guys, you just get a glimpse of what it looks like in here basically. As you can see, let's walk around. See up there. See, everything in this section talks about life in Europe between the 1600s and the 1800s. So as you can see examples of typical pieces of furniture and items that you would have had in a British home between the 1600s and the 1800s. So as you can see, you have things like, for example, a writing table, you'd have tea service, you'd have like clocks. This here behind me is called a harpist sword. I hope I said it correctly. I'll put the spelling on the screen. So in the 1800s, it was very common for wealthy families in Britain to entertain themselves, and one of the best ways was to do it was having one of these. So these would be very common in wealthy homes in Britain at that time. It was a very popular instrument up until around 1810, where it obviously went out of fashion. So you wouldn't see it in a British home today, but the keys on it, I was told, was actually designed for little fingers. So it was designed for people who have got small fingers, mainly kids and so on. Before we had posh bunk beds and posh king-size beds, this was typical of the beds they had in Britain in that era. So the bedroom was actually one of the places where people would entertain their friends, and so on and so forth. So a bed like this was very, very common. It was designed to obviously come more than one person, but it was very, very common to have this kind of bed in the Victorian era. So you can see like a little cool cushy chair there. You can see as well like some kind of drawers, etc. Then on this side you'll see like more drawer again, and like a desk. And that's typically what a room would have looked like in Britain a couple hundred years ago. Yet again, just other examples of what you would have found in the household in this era. So for example, obviously you could have seen what kind of chairs they had. And as you can see as well, back then everything was very, very, very smartly designed in terms of like designs. So for example, you can see here, design there, you can see sculptures. I would argue it's probably a lot more aesthetically pleasing than it is now. So you'd have the big painting there. And as you can see, more chairs. And then you'd have seen sometimes maybe like a bust as well. One thing people know Brits for is their love of tea. And here you've got a set of luxury tea and coffee sets from the 1700s. This is exactly what kind of tea and coffee set they would have had in their homes during that period, as you can see here. So yeah, same thing again. This looks like some kind of wardrobe. You've got like a clock. And then you've got obviously a piece of furniture, and like some kind of flower in the middle. Also as well guys, one cool thing I love about this museum is the cool fountain in the middle of it basically. It's a good place to come if you want to have a smoke or relax or just get out of the hustle and bustle of the museum. So it's a cool place I love to visit in the museum. That is it guys for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Let me know, where should I go next? What should I do? Please write it down in the comments below. In the meantime, thank you all for your support. I've had lots of new followers, lots of comments, likes and so on. I really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to keep putting out these videos, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.